Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us. If you're here with us live, you may be coming in a couple minutes later because I am going to tag everybody in the group. The dreaded at everyone tag. You're going to have to deal with it. It's going to happen, guys. So it's happening right now, actually, as I'm talking. So, oh, maybe not. Hold on, I'll have to do it from my phone. Anywho, we're back with the Elify co-founders. We've got Guy Tuell and Wolf, and they both look snazzy. They both did gel in their hair for you all. So thank you guys for doing that for us. Yeah, I'm going to talk about your hair. I won't talk about the weather, but I will talk about your hair. So guys, thanks for joining us again. And, for those that just came into the group or maybe just watching this video and they didn't see the last one, I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves and your brand, Elify.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so ER and Guy here with Elify. We're co-founders, and really it's about creating technology and simplifying and scaling it down so that it's accessible for everybody. Elify is a mashup between two words. We want to elevate your business and we want to simplify your life. And that's really what our mission and goal is, to help everybody out there, is how do you leverage technology to take your business to the next level, generate more revenue, generate more prospects and leads. And that's really what we've been focused on for the last decade, is creating solutions that are easily accessible to everybody so that they can leverage the power of technology in their business.
And what allowed us to do this is we were students of business. We knew that there was processes and systems, and a lot of times they're cumbersome, they're expensive. You have to join something that might have an expensive mastermind. And we wanted to say there's a different way of getting information out to people. And technology now allows us to be live. We're across the country from Danielle right now. But to be live and be in person in the same exact sense is saying that business can be simplified. It can be streamlined. And we really wanted to focus on a few core elements within our application, and how it's going to elevate your business and simplify your life is everyone has something to sell. And it might just be themselves, but you have to be the best storyteller of yourself. But when you're passionate about it, you're not selling anything. You're just allowing people, or opening the door to say that there's a simpler way, a simpler process that can be implemented. So that's really why we wanted to create Elify, and we're just excited to talk to more and more people about it. And hopefully they see what this application can do for them, and with implementation and some work, it can improve your business pretty drastically.
Yeah. So and I've filled you guys in, and so just so everyone in the group, as you guys get to know each other, a lot of you guys are business owners already. If you don't own just like a creator studio or an influencer agency, or you're an influencer growing your business, we do have even business owners and coaches and consultants in here that are really interested in becoming more of an influencer and partnering with brands like Elify. So it does make sense for you to be able to sell yourself. If you haven't tried it yet, you absolutely are. If you're in business for yourself, you have to sell yourself. And you guys said that. I was like, ooh, I know that's one of the hardest things I had to do when I first started. I mean, and I can think of so many different stories of what that was like, trying to sell myself. And I think if I was to sum it up, I just wasn't owning my own skill sets, my uniqueness. And so I love that you guys spoke to that and that you talk about that. And I'm sure that this is just as part of why you guys have the brand and mission that you do. So thanks for that. Good job. Do you guys have anything to add? What was it like for you guys to sell yourself at the beginning?
Danielle, look, if you're anything like me, right? Like the moment you stand up to talk in front of people, you start getting anxious, you start, stressing out. And part of that selling yourself is expressing who you are, what you do, how you can help other people. One of the things that we first started out doing over a decade ago is in the field of digital business cards, right? How do we introduce ourselves? We could build a whole persona online and share that and let that do some of the heavy lifting for us to sell ourselves. But it helped save me from having to get up there and actually physically talk about selling myself. I've gotten better at it over the years, right? But it's much easier to say, here's some information about who I am, what I do, and how I can help you. And here's all the ways for you to get a hold of me. So that just became one element of this solution that we created, and it helped everybody start to sell themselves a little bit better.
And what we love about it is right now, technology has made it so you're not really having to sell anything.
That's right.
You're just sharing. It's all you do. Share.
Yeah.
Share your story, share your process, share your system.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. Like sweating in places I didn't even know I could sweat in. That's how I feel every time I have to do these and go on stage. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know. A little too much information, but you guys have it anyway. Yeah, that's so true. And I think, ER, what you're saying with that is that it's really focusing on the client. So you're the solution. You guys are selling a solution to your ideal client. It's almost easier to sell to the one than it is to try to please the many.
Yeah.
So I love that you spoke to that too. So, all right, so we've got a nice variety of people here in the group, and you guys may be wondering, like, well, I'm a coach. I don't know if I'm an influencer, and guys, we all have the ability to be influential. So an influencer is someone who exerts influence. It's a person who inspires or guides the action of others. So that's like down to the bare minimum. This is Webster Dictionary. That's what an influencer is. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be Kardashians, you have to do lifestyle stuff. There are all these different types of influencers. So to kind of parrot what ER and Guy are saying is like it's actually best to be yourself and to influence the way that feels natural and right to you. So we're just gonna talk about how you guys can do that, how you can be yourself and influence using a brand like Elify. So so I kind of gave my definition of influencer, and I know you guys have done a ton of research on influencers too. And Guy, I'd love to hear like what kind of intrigued you guys as a brand about influencer marketing.
I think since day one, when we, as students of technology, we understood how a lot of things were sold. It was either you bought it off a shelf, you found it on a website, and then a few years ago, affiliate marketing came about, right? Or brokerages, whatever that is. And people knew that they could purchase things or systems, processes that they could implement. And what was ridiculously crazy to us sometimes is the implementation process. And I know we've had conversations and we talk about your why and your what and try to remove the how. Because as soon as you start saying how do I be an influencer? Well, there's thousands of ways to be an influencer. So the first things that start clicking are, oh dear, this is cumbersome. This is complicated. I don't know if I can do this. And then the fear kicks in and then nothing happens. So we said, let's connect. Let's find people that have an influence. And you know what? Who has an influence? Every single person has an influence, no matter what. I mean, we're not Tony Robbins here, but we know that there's influence or there's an opportunity to talk about systems that he also talks about, but can be offered to not just someone who's going to pay hundreds of dollars, but something that's economical. And especially today, there is fear happening in this world on the state of the economy, on going to the gas pump, on purchasing groceries. We don't know what's going to happen. And so we've got to have some type of influence to go out there. And why we really enjoyed growing this with Danielle, with you, and this influencer group is to understand that you've all got something. In this fear, these times, you've got to think about, what can I sell? Is it another product, a service, an opportunity, a coaching gig, a mastermind? If you've got to sell that, you've got to be passionate enough about getting the information out. And what we love is we provide a platform that allows you to get that information out. Marketing, networking, and referring are some of the biggest things that we want to attract in and attack with our technology. So being an influencer, it really is, mentioned it earlier, it's not selling, it's sharing your experiences, it's sharing whatever you would like, and also know why I'm sharing that information. Don't let the how creep in. Stick with the why I'm doing this and what I need to do to get it out. So to wrap that sort of portion up is every single person here has influence. And we'll talk about it a little bit later, but the brokerage that we provide within this, you're going to be selling yourself, product, service, whatever. But by sharing that through Elify's offerings, other people like the platform you're sharing it through, they sign up. We might as well just pay you for it. We're a little bit different than a lot of people out there.
Yeah, and they're going to show you guys all the different tiers. I'm going to have them show you guys in just a moment. But because ER is so he knows network marketing. So we're not doing network marketing for Elify. It's different. However, there is a tip of the hat to it a little bit. And that definitely comes from both your guys' experience, but ER, I know you have extensive experience in network marketing. So and I just wanted you to touch upon that, bringing that experience in, and how important influence is when it comes to this word of mouth marketing, and how do you see like the two correlate, and how influence and network marketing differentiate. So it's always good to have good information like that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the insight that I have has been gained from over 2 decades of servicing the industry and not necessarily being operating within that industry. And you get a lot being an outsider looking in, helping make some of those things happen. And it's really exciting because you can see some of the mechanical elements that are sort of universal across the board, whether you're in that industry or outside of that industry. There are a few important components within that space that I think typically get overlooked, but they have massive importance. One of those elements is an element of leverage. And when we take a step back on leverage is this thing that allows us to accomplish more than we could by ourselves. And so when we talk about things like network marketing, a lot of it is allowing for leverage. It's allowing for not just me to be the influencer, but me to help create other influencers out there or other people out there who will go out and share as well. And repeating that process in depth over time is what yields those predictable results that a lot of people who are successful in that space achieve. However, there are pros and cons to all of those systems. So what we typically look at is what are the best of attributes that we can pull from all of these things so that we can make opportunities that anybody can capitalize on. I think some of the things, there's definitely a skill set there. And I know, like, if you look at the quadrants people fall into, extrovert, introvert, there's definitely a quadrant that industry is more suited towards. Whereas online and influencer marketing and affiliate marketing is something that's more accessible to everybody outside of, who you are, what you do, your personality type, etc. And to sort of piggyback on what Guy was saying, that really means that anybody can be an influencer. You can be an influencer if you have a massive audience and a lot of reach and people who are looking to you for guidance. You can be an influencer if you're a micro influencer or nano influencer, but still have people who are looking towards you. Danielle, we were talking earlier, and the reality is you're not alone. There are people just like you who are on a journey that you maybe have already been on, and they're looking towards or to you for that type of guidance. And so if you wield that type of influence, even over a small group of people, there's an opportunity to do what the big influencers are doing, which is monetize your influence. And I think that's one of the things that we're talking about with this influencer program, is really giving you a path to, one, learn about our technology, understand how it's going to help you, not unlike network marketing companies, how they distribute and differentiate themselves from products that you typically just find on the shelf. I mean, that's the whole role behind those organizations is, wow, if we're just another label in another bottle sitting on another shelf, how do we jump off the shelf and talk to our potential customer? Well, we do that by relying on somebody to share information, share testimonials, share the benefits of these products or of these solutions so that the potential customer can be more informed and make a buying decision. At the end of the day, that's the role in that industry. And that's no different from the role of influencers online, affiliates online, et cetera. We're all out there sharing information and allowing the people who we have influence over to make an informed decision by following our guidance.
Right. It's so important. And we hear this a lot in coaching, and I've always been an implementer, and implementing for coaches was where I started. And that was what they were taught, was that you only have to be a couple steps ahead of whoever it is that you're going to mentor and coach and teach. And it's kind of to piggyback off of that, it really is. You are actually the best person to, and it makes sense for you to go first whenever you're doing things before you share it as an influencer, as a coach, and then share what you know and how you relate to these products that you're putting out there for brands. So whether it's Elify, whether it's a lifestyle product, or it could be shampoo, but it's still like you're gonna wash your hair first, try it out, and just like, oh, it tingled this way, and oh, my hair is so soft afterwards. But that's kind of what I know. I'm talking a lot about hair today. That's funny, but that's kind of what it's like to be an influence, and you're already doing it every single day, and so you might as well get paid for it. Is kind of what we're saying. So
true.
Getting paid for it, guys, show us how we can pay these guys when they play with us.
Well, I'm gonna ask ER to share the screen. So he had mentioned, he had mentioned the leverage aspect of network marketing that has been brought into our brokerage. There's also residuals. So don't want to lose sight of that, because so many of those network marketing companies, you can have leverage, you can have residuals, but a lot of things, the best of world that we pulled out of those and brought into ours is you don't have ranks to achieve, you don't have to have minimum monthly volume, you don't have to warehouse anything. You're purchasing a username and password that you can share information to other people about. And when they sign up, you get paid for it. It's that simple. I'm sharing information either about myself or the company, and they purchase it. We're going to pay you. And not only are we going to pay you one time, we're going to pay you residually. They keep using the solution. They implement it. They become students of knowing that technology is the wave. Technology is what's going to be utilized to advance businesses wherever they're at, especially work from home or work from wherever you want to type businesses. Is when people sign up, we're going to pay you. The first month, we're going to pay you 10% directly. What does that mean? Well, someone's going to be whipping out their credit card and paying the huge price of $20 per month. That's the cost of a solution. And that's where we differ from the one saying you need to pay $300 this month. You don't have to. It shouldn't be that way. Purchase it for $20. We're going to pay you $10, or we're going to pay you 10%, $2 per month residually. You can go as wide as you want. Who cares? If you can get 20,000 people on, they're paying $20. We're going to pay you roughly $20,000 per month.
Yeah.
That's not bad from just sharing, but also knowing if I'm an influencer, or I have influence not of 20 people, 200, I've got influence of 5. Well, those people also have influence on people as well, and we will pay out levels 2 through 6 at an additional 8% within our brokerage. So what's that mean? I love what we have. I love our solution. I'm sharing it to other people, and they sign up. They love it. They sign up, and they're also doing the same thing, and they're sharing it. It just proliferates down. It trickles down, and the network will naturally grow. Understanding here's a solution that's created to help me in my branding, to get the marketing information out about whatever it is, but in turn also getting marketing information out about Elify. But that proliferates down. If I directly refer 10 people, we're allowing for that 7th level to be opened up. If I directly refer 20, your 8th level, 30, your 9th, and 40 direct people. You can max out our brokerage program by directly referring 40 people. Well, what does that mean? Not all 40 of those people are going to go off and do the exact same thing. Actually, if you took I guess 40 and put it to the power of 10, that's more people than there are in the world. So
Okay, so not
it's
all of
not.
us are good at math, so
I'm a math person. Sorry about that. Sorry
I
about that.
I can't do it in my head as fast as you can. I need my calculator. So can just slow that piece down. Yeah, just for a second.
So when you directly refer
Yeah.
40 people,
Yes.
we are giving you the ability to open up the full brokerage. We're going to
Yep.
pay out 54% of
Wow.
everything that comes into our company.
Do you guys get that?
It's getting paid out.
Yeah.
And
54%? Holy crap, you guys.
so when people and here you're seeing ER's affiliate portal or our brokerage portal,
Yeah.
and there's a calculator in there, and we can put the statement out there of the financial return is going to be based on work is what it is. It's just not gonna happen by putting things out there and hoping and wishing and praying. Like, you've got to put work in. But if I have influence and I want to try to figure out how to capitalize on my influence and my network and support and help each one of them with a platform that can help them do the
Yeah.
same, like, the network can grow. If I only had 5
Mm-hmm.
people that I directly brought into our platform
Mm-hmm.
and I showed them the value of what Elify can do for them, and they get just as excited as I am,
Mm-hmm.
and they do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
5, and we'll do it real slow. 5 to the power of 6. So I didn't open up my 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th level because I only referred 5. But if I did 5 to the power of 6, that's over 15,000 people.
Yeah.
What's that
Amazing.
mean?
15,000 a month.
$15,000 a month
Yep.
residually.
Residual and residually, guys, it's just every month. Every month these guys are signed up. So I want you guys to think of this. I'm just gonna flip a perspective because I know that when we say work or we end anything in ing, everyone's like, we just do that. We do. It's like, no. So instead of us thinking of it as work, and by work we just mean effort. It's just
Mhm.
effort. We also want to think of it as networking.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
networking, you're already doing it. I mean, you guys are already out there. If you like a product, you're going to share it anyway. So like all of this is going to be something you need to do for your business. It doesn't matter if you're coming in as a creator or an influencer, you still need a network. You still need to build those relationships. This is actually just going to help you do that. And you're going to get paid for it. So when I flip it like that, I know people ease. I can feel like everyone's like, oh, okay, okay, networking. Like there's so many different ways to come into this program and network and get excited about what you're doing with and using the product. And by the way, these two have a phenomenal community that you get to join and you get to learn from. I mean, even other people who are in SaaS companies are like, wow, you guys do it that much? Oh my goodness. So they give a lot. So you guys have total support here. But I'd love for you just to go into like, what does it look like to use this? Yes, as an influencer, but even just to do networking and to sell yourself or brand yourself and help get the product out there.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. The solutions we were talking about that are contained within Elify are things that everybody uses all of the time.
Right.
They may not be aware that they use those things, but as soon as you start talking about it and saying, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, people are like, oh, wow, I do that as well, but I don't do it in the way that you're doing it. Like, can you show me how? And I think that's what we're really talking about here is, we are in this midst of this digital revolution. I'm going to date myself. I might date a lot of people on this call who might be watching this, where I remember the analog age, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've gone through the analog age into the digital age. I remember we didn't even have a recorder on the phone, right? You had to be there and pick up the phone at the time somebody called if you wanted to get that call. Guys, now we have voicemail in our pocket, right?
Yeah.
So we're watching this digital age happen. And what the reality is there are people who are going to get left behind because they're not implementing digital solutions. And there's such an opportunity for digital solutions to advance your business forward. And these are things like having an online presence. And when I say have an online presence, I'm not talking about having a Facebook group page or, having a LinkedIn profile or having a Facebook page, etc. I'm talking about having a true online presence. Do I have a website or landing pages that I'm leveraging? Do I have something that talks about who I am and what I do and how I can help other people, like a digital business card that I can share and direct people to make it easier for them to connect with me, to learn about me, to do business with me? And so that's really what we're offering within Elify. Things like landing pages, digital business cards. You've seen them right here, QR codes, right? Look, QR codes are these powerful tools that allow our customers to interact with us by just picking up their phone and opening their camera up. If you're not leveraging that within different aspects of your business, and there are billions of ways to implement this, right? That's the how. How could I do this? You could do this in a million different ways. But you still have to realize that we've made it very easy and accessible to everybody. Same thing with relationship management. So they're going to get all of those bundled in to our shuffle solution. Our tap solution is near field communication. So we're literally taking a device, an NFC card, and it's going to empower and allow us to literally just tap people's phones to share information. If you had the choice between tapping somebody's device to give them all your information or giving them a piece of paper where they're going to have to read through, retype stuff in, you've totally reduced the friction for them to move forward. So for our influencers, this is what we want to do for you. We want to provide you access to the solution for free, so that you can experience this and implement it for yourself, and then turn around and share your experience with your audience. Again, you're not alone in this. The people you have influence over are on a similar journey that you've already been on. So we want to take you through that journey of the Elify experience. We want to allow you to have access to these Elify tools within Shuffle and within Tap, show them how they can benefit you and what you currently do, and then allow you to turn around and share. And it just goes back to share that experience with the audience that you have influence over, in hopes that you'll help us achieve our mission, which is just spreading the word about this technology to as many people as possible. And in doing so, look, we're even going to, as Guy just expressed, compensate you for any of the business that results from your influence.
Yeah. And this is gonna, this technology, guys, is gonna be everywhere. So you guys are like legitimately on the ground floor of something
Absolutely.
huge.
That's
Huge.
right.
And I love that you guys are talking about this. And I'm just gonna touch upon this one thing for our influencers and for people who have just been doing influencing, and influencer marketing. And the industry is changing. It's changing. It is expanding. It's very popular. And so because of that, brands have a different expectation. So the way that and I just want to touch upon it because it's already come up in questions, is that people are like, well, I usually get paid per post. And what I tell everybody is like, yes, you get paid once for a post and you have one chance to make a good impression. And I tell you what, if you haven't gotten a call back immediately after that post, guess what happened? It did not convert. And so I hear this all the time. And I said, hey, I'm happy to, I have lots of brands that we are passing people off to. I'm like, show me your ROI, and then we'll keep you on there. And the thing is that not a lot of people have it. And they say that the brands haven't given to them, which is true. So there's something in the industry that's going to be shifting where we're going to see ROIs. The brands are going to be a little better about this is what they're going to be better about tracking. And so what does that mean? It means that we as the influencers need to be really good at tracking. So the paid per post thing is going to be tougher to get. And so this is why I really like this solution, because these guys just want you to share it. They want you to share it, and you get paid for everything that turns around and produces. And actually, it's something that's really easy to share. Everybody needs it. Absolutely can use it in multiple different ways. Like I know you guys have experienced people getting scared from the how. I actually love the how. It's like, ooh. Well, my only problem with the how is that I want to do all of it all at once. So like that's just how my brain works. But I always like, ooh, I can do this and I can do this. But there are multiple ways to share this, and they have created a simple way, which we're going to be showing all you guys, just a simple way through our other live streams and through our emails. We're going to show you the easiest way to share this. And then there's other ways that I find fun, which is like, oh, let me see how creative I can get and like how I can automate some of this. And I tell you what, I can put it out there on my social media as an influencer and put it there one and done. And then I think I've got like 4 or 5 people coming to my Elify shuffle card every single day, and I only put it on LinkedIn. So, so like there's so much, and it's always coming in all the time. I'm leaving it there. It's done, and so I always have people like interested in my influence and my programs, and then guess what? They're interested in Elify because that's where I send them for a landing page. So like there's just so much you can do for it, and guess what? I get income every month because of one thing I did, because of one little idea that I implemented, and I just left and let it do its thing. So um that's my experience as an
Well,
influencer. It's been amazing.
to your point, the shift that's taking place, the get paid up front one time,
Yeah.
is getting replaced with this residual compensation, and it's a
Yeah.
pay for performance model that serves everybody. It's a win-win-win, triple win here. It helps us as advertisers or vendors get technology out there. At least in our example, it helps the influencers and promoters out there to do the effort. And it helps the end consumer get access to information as well. And I think it's a huge thing that people overlook sometimes, just based on the mental shift that happens. Guy, you and I were talking about this example earlier, and it's a math thing, so we're gonna do this slowly, real quick. But the question is, would you rather get paid? Would you rather get paid $1 million today? Okay, ask yourself this question: would you rather get paid $1 million today, or 1 penny every single day, doubled every single day for the next 30 days? And hands down, a majority of people, the first thing they're going to say is $1 million, just $1 million up front, one and done. But if you do the math on this, a penny compounded, right? 1 penny turns to 2, turns to 4, turns to 8, turns to 16, right? And we can go through the math of that exponential growth where it just starts trending way up. As you get towards the end of the month, when you do the math on this, you realize a penny compounded every day is $3 million. So you're actually sacrificing 200% extra just by taking something up front. If you're truly good at what you do, you want to do something. This is why music artists, they don't get paid every time they sing a song. They sing a song one time and they get paid every time it plays on the radio. They want to do the work once and they want to get the residual compensation on it. This opens the door for us and the average Joe, if you will, even the nano influencer, to come in and really leverage that concept of residual compensation. I think when you layer on top of that things like leverage itself, most people don't realize leverage. We think about it as that sort of triangle or pyramid that people talk about, but we don't realize that every single organization, including every public company out there, uses the concept of leverage, right? The bottom level is all the employees, then you have management, then you have executives, then you have the company owners type of thing, right? That's that structure where they're leveraging everybody else's efforts to really build upon their own. And if you can implement that in your own influencer journey, right? You're gonna essentially inspire other influencers out there. If you could get paid on them as being part of your brokerage on some of their efforts, we're all limited to 24 hours in the day. We're all limited to 100% effort. So I'm always a big proponent of that John Paul Getty quote. I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. So just a little extra there.
The only way you can scale. And I'm going to give you guys some 2022 facts here, some numbers for you for the influencers and creators in here. A mega influencer is somebody who has over 1 million following on one platform. Over 1 million, right? It seems like, oh gosh, payday must be coming in all the time. Guess what these guys make? Mega influencers make on average 15,000 a month. Now, I know some of you guys like 15,000 a month sounds amazing. And to me, I'm just like, oh, geez, that's like nothing. Like for all the effort that I know that I would have to put in as an influencer full time. The other thing is like if you're not getting the ROI on those posts, guess what you have to do? You have to market yourself constantly. You have to market yourself constantly. You have to always be in sales mode, and you always have to be looking for that next gig. And that is stressful. That is stressful. That's the only way. So not only do you have to keep up with that million following, keep building it so that you can increase your prices, but you also have to produce, you have to produce these posts. You do need to produce results as well. So if you don't know what those results are, you can pretty much tell that if you don't get a call back, that means that you're not getting the ROIs for these
Right.
guys and they're not going to pay you again. And so it's a one and done. So you're constantly going to be marketing, you're constantly going to be doing sales. So it makes, and $15,000, well, it sounds like a lot. It is not. It does not go that far because you're going to need a team to help you do the sales and marketing. And I would say at least 5K that's going to go to them, and they got to pay taxes. Yes, you have to pay taxes on influencer marketing. And so there's another 5K. So you got 5K to live off of afterwards. And that's not living that lifestyle. That's not living the high life. So this is why I tell everybody, I'm like, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Think about how much effort needs to go into this. Think about how much you need to pay your team in order to help you with all this stuff, because we know that you guys always are going to need photos, and you're going to need videographers. You're going to need all these different things. And so to scale, you need opportunities that pay you residual. Like, it's the same thing with influencers. It's the same thing with creators. It's the same thing with small business owners. It is all the same thing. You have to do these things to scale. And scaling means that's where you get your life. That's where you get your life back. So I know. Big truth bomb. I hope I didn't pop anyone's balloon here, but I think it's really important to talk about this stuff too.
I mean, the time, when is perfect timing? Well, right now.
Yeah.
That's the conviction. We have to have enough conviction to know if we're going to make a change, then we've got to do it. If it's not going to be us, then who? And if it's not going to be us, no worries. We're going to get them. That's what's going to happen, right? And preferably, we would like to be doing it with everyone who's on right now, because that's where we get the ability right now to do these types of trainings and have multiple trainings throughout. I mean, this is our personal information, which is crazy. ER and I are putting that type of stuff out there for people to connect with. If you call me, I'm probably not going to answer. Make sure you text me first. But in business, I mean, it goes back to Warren Buffett from the aspect of invest in yourself. Very first thing to do is invest in yourself. Well, we've invested in ourselves. We've invested into a platform that allows people to not put everything in one basket, but to be able to say, these are elements I need to improve or hopefully gain eyeballs and attraction. And what's the second thing you need to invest in from Warren Buffett? Invest in a business that has low upfront costs and high margins. Well, if you're going to pay $20 a month, and to you as being a part of this network, we're giving it to you for free for a 3-month trial. And we're going to start paying you, but if you start bringing people in, we'll start paying you at that time. But once you invest that time or that investment into this business and what it can do for you as an influencer, you start getting those margin, your ROI is going to be based on your efforts. So the one post that didn't get anyone viewing and it didn't work for me. No, it didn't work. You didn't work. That's what it is. You know, I was listening to professional athletes talking about, Steph Curry. The Golden State Warriors just won the NBA championship. He shoots thousands of shots a day. Thousands. And he makes them. And he misses from time to time. But he's taking them every day. He's getting that repetition. He's putting the work in. And we see so many people in business that they're inspired, they're going to go off and do this, and they post and nothing happens. And they quit. And that's just the nature of people. Like, you've got to have conviction saying, now is the time. And here we go. That's what it's about. Here we go, enjoy the ride, jump on, and this is where all you have to do. I believe, Danielle, you've got a form that if people are interested enough about what you're listening to and you haven't filled it out yet, we would encourage you to, because that's the only way you're going to get in for the 3 months for free. Mm-hmm. Once you fill that out, you'll start getting emails that talk about where to go, Very first thing you need to do. This isn't a how, this is what you need to do. You need to go to elifyshuffle.com and log in. You're going to use your exact same username and password that you used, that you filled out on that form, to get access. What do you do from there? Well, why are you here? What do you want to create? Do you want to create landing pages? Do you want to create business cards? Go in and say, well, if I have something that I want to convey to others, what does that look like in a deliverable? Well, I might need some logos, some photos, some videos. Compile that together. The how becomes simple because you already have it laid out. Mm-hmm. To start earning, the very next thing you do is you go to elifyshuffle.com/affiliate. You sign in. Same username and password. It's going to ask you, I believe, 3 simple questions. What's your name? Verify your email and your birth date. At that point, you own a brokerage. You're part of our team. And anything you share from Elify that intrigues other people enough to take a look or get signed up, we start paying you. Right then. Right there. So, why do this? It's going to happen. Either we can do it now or we can get involved a year from now and be, oh man, I missed the boat. I could have helped more and more people than I'm helping now or whatever. But now is the time.
Nice. Yes, now's the time, guys. Ground floor. And we're having you guys come in for 3 months to play, right? Try it out, share it around. You're gonna love it. And and I'm gonna have I'm gonna have you talk about this so that I can continue typing everyone instructions. But I think that one of the best things about Elify and Shuffle is the community that you guys are bringing them into. And it's a substantial community already, and you guys give so much to your community. So I'd love for you just to tell them how supported they are too.
Yeah, I think this is something that's unique to Elify as an organization. Yes, we started out by talking about that we're a technology company, but just as much as we're a technology company, we're a community of people who are out there on a mission to really help other people be more successful by leveraging the technology. So we've done a lot to really make that happen. Things like a YouTube channel with lots of training, right? That's where it starts. Social groups like our Facebook groups for our users and even for our influencers to come in and collaborate with each other so that it's not just us helping you directly, but the community as a whole has an abundance mentality where we're all helping each other to maximize each other's success. Everything down to, how would I implement this technology, or how would I use this technology, or where could I use this technology, or what can I use this technology on, to how do I get out there and share? How do I wield my influence to make the biggest impact and obviously make me the most money? So there's community aspect within this for that. We also do live calls, multiple live calls throughout the week. We kick it off on Monday. We want everybody to plan their week, execute their plan so that they can see predictable results. So we're always talking about this week's sprint, right? What do the next 5 to 7 days look like? Even though all of us have these big, hairy, audacious future goals, we want to achieve them by sprinting 1 week at a time. On Tuesday, we do a live Tech Tuesday at 2 p.m. call Central Time, where users can come in. They can ask any question about anything related to the technology, and we're going to go through a hands-on training on how to accomplish that, what to use it on, the steps to do specific things, general technology training on how to implement the solution to maximize the impact that the solution can have. On Thursdays, we do like a mastermind roundtable discussion where we're talking about general business topics. They may not even be specifically relevant to the technology, but they're specifically relevant to success and to business, and they all play a role hand in hand. We truly believe you have to have the right tools, but you also have to have the right knowledge and the right skills to wield those tools to get the results that you're looking for. And we follow that up with a Friday call every Friday where it's all things Elify, where we invite people to come on and we talk about the company, who we are, what we do, the technology, the brokerage program, all of those types of things. So we try to collectively go above and beyond to make sure that everybody can be as successful as they want to be when participating in this.
So good. So good, you guys. So you guys have the link if you're looking at the headers. There's the link up there. Although I can tell you what it is. So I'm gonna just say what it is, even though I don't have the fancy stuff that they have behind there. Where I should have a QR code. Actually, I'm gonna have to ask you guys how to do that. I know I need one, but it needs to go to this form. So it's influencebuilder.com /3-month-influencer. So it's pretty simple. You guys can type that in if you're watching from your phone. And of course, like we'll be sending you guys the replay via Facebook DMs because my everyone button is not working because it's a new group. So you guys are gonna get DMs from me so hopefully that won't annoy too much, but you guys are gonna want the information. So we're gonna send you the link to sign up. We're gonna send you the replay of this to watch again because there's lots of good nuggets that we left. And also, guys, just make sure that you come back to the group and look at all the steps that I'm writing down for you. It's still in process, but it's gonna give you, like, once you sign up and once you're accepted, you're gonna get an email, and then you do this, and that's the shortcut. But we're going to be giving you guys emails, and you can come into these Facebook groups, and we're actually going to do a Slack channel too for Q&A. So if you guys have any trouble at all, and these guys are always on Slack, they're always on Slack. So if I have a question, I'm like, oh, it's kind of late, they'll probably answer me in the morning, and they could have their notifications turned up, but for some reason, some kind of magic happens and I get an answer almost immediately. I'm not promising that for you guys, because I think I abuse it a little bit, but they're very good at answering questions. They've got a wonderful team. So you are fully supported as an Elify influencer. And I can say, knowing what I know about brands, that this does not happen. This is like a unicorn. This is a unicorn brand. And if you look at their website, it's unicorn colors, and I don't even think they meant to do that, but but it happened. It's
sure
great. It did. It happened, guys. It happened, and I know because I've got daughters, and unicorn colors are popular in this house. So yeah. So you guys are fully supported, and of course, come back into the group. We're gonna have more this time next week. So we're gonna give you guys lots of information. We're gonna be having conversations about influencing, about Elify, about things that you can do, fun that you can have, the campaigns that we're running. And so we definitely want you guys to join in the conversation. So mark this in your calendar that we're going to be doing this 1 p.m. Eastern Wednesdays, which is, what are you guys, 2 hours behind? So that's 11
a.m.
11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time and 10 a.m. Pacific. So a good time of day. We're not making our West Coasters get up at 7 a.m. I've done that before and I've gotten grief for it. We're not going to do that to you guys. So, join us again next week, and of course, reach out with any questions. We're happy to help.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.